All right, everyone. I want to welcome you to our Love Rejuvenation 7-day challenge. And I'm always amazed at how fast these challenges go. But we're already on day number 5. And I can't believe that we're already on day number 5. I want to thank everyone who's been hanging in there with me. I really appreciate that. For those who have been participating, emailing, just doing your work, just taking the time to do the internal work that you have to do even on your own. So I hope that you're getting a lot of value. My challenges are usually pretty deep. They're not superficial. So I hope it's been very beneficial. This challenge is very special to me because this is all about rejuvenating the woman within. Right? So in this challenge, not only do I focus on the man, but like I do in a lot of my other challenges too, I focus on you as the woman. I really believe that you have to love yourself, rejuvenate yourself, heal yourself, do your inner work before you can really add a man to the mix. Because if you do it backwards, then you're always fighting to get what you want from that man, fighting to make that relationship great, and then trying to fix yourself and fix him. And it's just a big mess. When we do things in the order that they should be done, meaning first love ourselves, first care for ourselves, first heal ourselves, first make ourselves healthy, then when we add a man that's healthy or at least relationship ready, it becomes a lot easier to come together and build a healthy future together. And then for those of you who want to have children, it becomes a lot easier to raise children in a healthy environment. If you think back to your childhood, a lot of us are here because we've had some kind of type of trauma, some things going on in our families. Our parents fought a lot. They were alcoholics. They didn't get along. Many of you tell me when I work with you that your parents didn't really love each other. You could see that. You just accepted it for what it is. But what happens is that all of that creates an imprint on our brain, right? And it sets an unconscious pattern for how we're going to behave in our relationships. So these challenges are really designed to help you rejuvenate, renew. Rejuvenate means to renew. So we're trying to renew the woman within you, really help you identify those love blocks, identify your those things you need to work on so we can bust through those things and really create a healthy relationship. So what I'm trying to do is break the cycle of past generations, break the cycle of your life, break the cycle of, your future children's life. We don't want them to have to go through all of this to figure out how to date and how to get a mate. So I hope you're enjoying the challenge. I hope you're participating because that's what this is all about. We are on day number 5. And again, I am so excited about today, day number 5. Day number 5, it's going to be pretty juicy today. For those who are not familiar with me, and I know some people are still new to me, I do a lot of promoting on social media. And so if you've come into my challenge through social media or through some type of summit, if that's how I met you, I want to just give you a brief introduction. I did on the first day. I'm not going to take up too much time. So please go back and look at that video if you want to learn more about me. I give a little bit in each day as we go. But I am Camille Sheppard-Parrish. I am a healthy love coach, and I really help women attract and create healthy love in their life. So I'm the founder of Get Mr. Right University, and I'm also the author of Successful Women Date Differently, Secrets to Attracting the Love That You Deserve. You can probably see the book behind me, and you can find it on Amazon. It's a very good book. The book does tell somewhat about my journey, but it's more of a workbook to help you learn how to detox, learn how to attract love, to realize that the man of your life, your Mr. Right, might not look exactly the way you expect him or think that he will look, but it encourages you to really examine your relationships and take your time to walk through relationships before you just get attached to someone. Today, we are revisiting the 90-day rule. How many of you are familiar with the 90-day rule? You can go ahead and put that in the chat box. I think most people are probably familiar with the 90-day rule. I'm not sure who originally made it, brought it to the fore, but I think Mr. Steve Harvey has done a lot for giving it a lot of attention with his movies and his books. And the 90-day rule, well, what we're going to do today is discover how men who are not celibate use this rule to really manipulate women and keep you in a secret rotation. I don't think women are really familiar with that many men keep you in rotation while you're exercising the 90-day rule. So many times we focus on the things that we need to do, but we're not looking at the whole picture because we're just thinking with our analytical head, and we never drop into our heart or allow our intuition to lead us, right? And so we never really know that we're in this secret rotation while he's waiting for our 90 days to be up. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Thanks a lot. Yes, ma'am. From Mr. Steve Harvey. Love and respect him. I've worked with him a couple of times at his events, and I've had that honor and that pleasure of doing that through my coach, and that's been an honor. He's a phenomenal man. And so I want to make sure we level set. I have nothing to say negatively about Steve Harvey, or not even about his rule. But what I want to really talk about is it just a rule or is it a principle? Did we take it and run with it, or how did we apply it in our lives? So that's what we're really going to be talking about it. I think the foundation of that rule is a good foundation, but I think we took it as an explicit rule, which we don't have to think about. We just give it 90 days and then we're off and running. But it generally takes longer than 90 days for a man to really send his representative home, ladies. It really does. It really takes a little bit longer than that. It doesn't, it's not just 90 days and everything is okay. All right, so I want you to discover the importance of revealing yourself slowly and really paying attention and listening while you allow the relationship to unfold naturally. So we're going to be learning how you can take your power back a little bit and how you can flip the game, if you will, for lack of a better word, so that you can recognize men who don't respect your morals or plan to build a future with you. And after all, a man cannot accept the fact that you have high moral standards in your life and that you are living in alignment with your core values. Then, you probably don't need to waste your time on that man. So those are some of the things that we're going to talk about. And I want to talk about the principle behind the rule. As I mentioned, I worked with Mr. Harvey several times and attended his events and certainly listened to him speak. And what he said is that the purpose of the 90-day rule is to give women a chance to learn about the person that they're dating without the distraction of sex. Okay. And during the 90 days, you should be checking him out. And, understanding whether or not he comes, when, arrives on time. Does he show up when he says he's going to show up? Does he call you regularly when he's going to be late? Does he like or care about your friends, if you have them, or your children? Does he express joy being in your presence, right? Does he call you on a regular basis? Do you have a regular date night set up? Excuse me with my glasses there. Does he have got my hair done and so it's super tight? It's hard to even get my glasses on. Sorry about that. But does he call you? Does he have a normal routine with you? And is he participating in the relationship, or is it just kind of a mundane thing? Just he's just doing without thinking, just to pass the time until 90 days are up. So this is what we're going to be focusing on. The thing that you ladies have to be aware of, I think that we forget, is that men are aware of the 90-day rules just as much as you are. And if you're thinking about how to use this 90-day rule to determine if he's your Mr. Right, he's also trying to fit, and that's using it to your advantage, right? You're using it to determine if in 90 days, if he's showing up on time, does he call you regularly? 90 days is simply 3 months, 12 weeks. Not a long time, ladies. And so we're saying in 12 weeks time period, does this man call you when he say he's going to call you? Does he show up? Is he there? Right? I would take that a step further. In 90 days, have you met any of his friends? Right? See, these are things that are not in the rule. Have you met his friends? Has he introduced you to his family? Has he taken you out in public on dates? Right? I'm not so concerned about whether he bought you flowers or brought groceries over or came over and cooked or bought you a little gift, because those things come with the program. He knows he has to do certain things. So there are certain things men are really learning, and they're programmed to know what they need to do. So they know within 90 days, they need to impress you. In 90 days, they need to figure out what's in your head, what you want in your heart, so that he can get to the next level with you, the 91st day. So he's trying to get to day number 91. And day 91 is like when the fireworks are supposed to happen. He knows that. And when you just focus on 90 days in your mind, you're really trying to focus on that. And what happens during those 90 days is that you end up being so restricted because you're just focusing on it. Is he going to stay? What is he doing? Did he call me? Did he show up on time? Of course he's going to show up in 90 days. Steve Harvey said it. Steve Harvey says you need to show up on time. I'm going to back up to what Mr. Steve Harvey said. Steve Harvey said that he needs to show up on time. He needs to call. He can't be late. He has to care about your friends, and he has to care about your children or ask about your children, and he has to enjoy being in your presence. So a man knows what he needs to do. He doesn't need, so this is not necessarily him acting naturally. This is him acting according to a rule that was set out for him. And the rules of the dating game, the new dating trend is to follow these rules. Show up on time, call her, send her little memes or memes, and send her little morning quotes and say hello for 90 days, because if you do these things in 90 days, you will get the prize on day number 91 or 92 or so on. It's expected, because he knows that if he's a good boy, if he's a good partner, good friend for 90 days, then on 91 day, it's almost like Christmas time for him. He gets to unwrap the cookie, he gets to pop it open, and he gets to have relationships with you. He knows that. So do you think 12 weeks is a long time for him to have consistent behavior before he gets to get into your cookie jar? See, he knows that. He knows that. I see a couple of hands being raised, and I'm sure you have questions. What I want to encourage you to do is write those questions down so you don't forget. After I'm finished with the session, I'm going to do Q&A. And I'll open that up for Q&A for you, okay? So just hold on to those questions, because I want to keep the flow, and I want to make sure I cover the information, because I know some people are on their lunch and some people are getting ready for work, and I want to respect their time for those who have joined the session. So that's why I asked in the beginning, and then I'll ask you at the end for any questions. So I appreciate that love for those who are raising their hands and asking questions. You can put them in the chat, or you can just note them, and then we'll get to them. But thank you so much. I appreciate your ability, your desire for wanting to jump right in. But what I do want you to pay attention to is the fact that men know that for 90 days, they have to be on their best behavior. Because if they are on, it's like school, right? School semester is a couple of weeks, right? I think it's about 9 or 12 weeks, each school semester or so, right? And if you do your work, you're going to get a good report card. Right? And if you get a good report card, you're going to come home and mom is going to put that on the refrigerator, and mom is going to buy you a gift, or you're going to get a gift for your birthday or Christmas or whatever these holidays and things that you get rewarded on or awarded on by your parents, right? And so we are already conditioned to, if we do this, we will get that. And so that's all this 90-day rule has done for men, is it says if you can be on your best behavior for 90 days, in 90 days, you get to take the bow off the package, off the cookie jar. Okay. And so now, ladies, if men are aware of this, you need to shift your behavior. You can't just follow the 90-day rules. And this is why I'm not for following dating trends and dating rules, because they shift. Number one. And number two, men are also following the rules. And they know how to play the games, the rules of the games. Men can play games better than we can. They are used to playing their Atari or PlayStation or whatever they have, their Wiis. They're used to playing basketball and football and understanding the rules of the game, the rule of engagement. We are the ones that may not participate in games as much as men. We understand the rules to complete our schoolwork. We understand the rules to get our education. We understand what we need to do to have a good credit score so we can buy a house. We understand how to pay down our debt, right? Men understand rules. The 90-day rule is the easiest thing. It's just like, here's a rule, guys. I'm going to tell you out loud what I'm going to tell the ladies, to wait 90 days. And guys are saying, okay, everybody's going to wait 90 days now. So what do we do with that 90 days? Right? So like I said, men are aware of the 90-day rule. So if you know that, then you should understand that they're going to flip that around and they're going to use that to their advantage. And how do they use that to their advantage? They have no problem waiting, ladies. I've given this talk on the stage before at a conference, and they were floored because men have you in rotation. You need to understand, if a man is not celibate, if he's sexually active, and when he first meets you, if he really doesn't know whether or not he wants to be with you, marry you, or build a future with you, what makes you think that he just stops everything he's doing, including sex and his relationship with other people, to just all of a sudden be with you? If he's really sincere, if he's relationship ready, if he's matured, if he has everything that he needs to have in order, and he is truly, sincerely interested in you, he will. But ladies, don't fool yourself into thinking that just because a man walks up to you today and takes you out on a date tonight, that if he had a girlfriend yesterday, that he's running home to break up with that girlfriend because he found you, unless he feels like, oh my God, this is my soulmate and the love of my life. If he feels that way, he will. Your job is to determine where is he coming from. Is he really sincere and serious about this relationship, or does he just want to have another notch on his belt? But you need to understand that every man usually has a woman in his life, most men. And just because you say, okay, I'm going to date you, I like you, he's using that 90 days to really either continue to be in his current relationship or wind it down while he's waiting for your 90 days. And he has you in rotation. You could be at 90 days, but she's at day one. And so now he's enjoying relationships with you while he's waiting for her to get to 90 days. And right now he's probably in a relationship with someone who's past her 90 days while he's waiting for you. And the cycle continues. You are in rotation. Usually, even if he likes you and he may be serious about you, you're still in rotation until he gets to know you. If a man is sexually active, he doesn't just turn that off because of you, unless he's really into you. And that's why it's so important for you to determine if he's into you. And that's why it's so important for you to look beyond the 90-day rule. Again, one of the processes that I teach the women in my program, you have to look beyond. Let's go beyond the 90-day rule. We're stuck in this 90-day rule box, waiting for someone to take the bow off and unwrap us. Not cool. Every man knows what he needs to do to be able to unwrap that package on 90 days. So is this rotation concept new for you, ladies? You could just drop that in the chat box if you want. I'm curious because I've spoken about this on stage. So if you've heard me speak in public before, you've heard me speak about this 90-day rotation process. So don't be so naive to think that, oh, I told him I want to wait for 90 days and no sex. No, he's coming to you and he already knows you're going to wait 90 days and he's very happy about that. And he's going to oblige you and do whatever he needs to do for 90 days while he has you in rotation, right? Let's go a little bit deeper, because I want to really talk about what the real deal is, ladies. That's what we need to get to. What is the real deal? And you're here with Camille, and I'm going to give you the real deal. No fluff and stuff. We're going to talk about the real deal, ladies. As I talked about on day one and in other sessions, you simply haven't identified your blind spots in your ish or your love blocks. You haven't. If a man can continue to run this kind of 90-day game on you, you need to pump your brakes. If after 90 days you find out that he starts withdrawing from you, he starts getting busy with work, he got a lot of overtime now, his family needs him now, he got a promotion now, or he just lost his job, or his truck broke down, or he's just tired and he needs a lot of rest now. These are just some of the excuses that I hear constantly from women. You know, but the bottom line is that he starts to pull away from you. He starts to just give you a little bit of breadcrumbs, right? Or he ghosts you completely. And now you're trying to figure out where he is, what he's doing, and when he's going to contact you again, right? And this is because you continue to allow yourself to get in the cycle, because it's not just him. Now you get into the relationship with the next guy, and it's the same thing. He's waiting for his 90 days. 90 days are up. He gets to pop the jar off the cookie jar, and then he's in. And then he tastes the cookie, decide if he likes it, if he likes this flavor, doesn't like this flavor. See, you just think your cookies are the best cookies since cookies were invented. And you just know that they're so yummy-licious, and there's no other cookie he's going to ever need to desire in his life once he's had your cookie. That's what you think as a woman. But that's not true, ladies. Men don't view sex like you view sex, and I will say it until you get it. They don't. Sex is not the same for men. Sex is not the thing that makes men fall in love. An emotional connection with a woman that he's truly, sincerely interested is the thing that makes a man fall in love. It's not your sex, ladies. So stop leading with your sex. Stop waiting for the 90 days, because you're being, you're like a robot, like a puppet waiting for your 90 days to be up so you can be unwrapped. You got to shift your mind. You have to get your mind right if you truly want to get a good man. You really do. And that means that you have to identify your blind spots, recognize what your ish is, and clear up your love blocks. If you're not ready to do that, and as I will continue to say, if you want to hide behind the computer, just listening silently, not doing any work, not partnering with anyone, you will never understand what you need to do to go to the next level to really attract a relationship ready man, because the dating trends are changing too fast and you're not able to keep up with it. If you're a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer, if you're a lawyer out there and you're listening, right? Just imagine that you're all lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. If I had a court case coming up, I can go to the library and look up a ton of books and try to figure out what all the laws and statutes and the past precedents are all about so I can defend myself. Or I can go look up and speak to and hire a lawyer who knows what they're doing, has the experience, and can make sure they win my case. If I go defend myself, I might win. But guess what? There's a better chance that I might lose because I don't have the experience and the knowledge and expertise to win the case. The same with you ladies in the dating game. You don't have the knowledge, the experience, and the expertise to win at love. So you're going to keep researching. You're going to keep watching what's gone on with this person and that person and listening to this dating coach and that dating coach. But you're only getting little breadcrumbs. I just got a signal that my computer's getting ready to die. So let me just grab my plug. Excuse me, ladies. Don't want that to happen. So if I don't have the expertise to represent myself, I'm going to sabotage my case. And the same thing is happening to you, ladies. You are sabotaging your ability to win in the relationship game because you're trying to represent yourself. You're trying to defend yourself. You're trying to build your case. You're trying to attract your man. You're trying to understand how to communicate with him. You're trying to follow all the dating rules. You're trying to fix your past, let go, heal your past. You're trying to understand what you're doing, where you're leaking. You're trying to do all of these things. And when you have a blind spot, ladies, it's called a blind spot because you can't see it. When you're driving in the car, and this happens to me so much, someone may creep right up and I jump because I'm like, where did that car come from? I didn't even see it. He could have hit me and I wouldn't have even known because he was in my blind spot. And I, although everyone else in the car could see it, I couldn't see it, and I'm the driver. So that's the danger of not recognizing what your blind spot and what your issues are. Okay, so I'm going to invite you, as I always do, to open your heart up to learning more about what you need to do to get your mind right so you can get your man. And because even though you don't know your blind spot, so that's number one. The number two is that you're not aligned with your core values. You're not aligned with the woman within. That's why I'm talking about rejuvenating the woman within. We're so busy working, helping others, supporting others, being a friend, being a mother, being a child, being a Christian, serving at our place of worship, volunteering. We're watching everybody on Facebook, trying to catch the latest movie, catch the latest concert. We're so busy. We haven't taken time to focus on ourselves. We haven't taken time to rejuvenate the woman within. We haven't taken time to hit our pause button and take a break, detox our life, detox our mind from all of the mindless clutter in this world, and really focus on what we need to do as women, right? And until we do that, you're not going to show up as a happy, refreshed, fun woman who's settled in her femininity, because you're not even aligned with your core value. You will never get to femininity until you get to your authentic core. First thing I teach, that's lesson number one in my programs, is that you have to understand who you are as an authentic woman. You have to align yourself with your core values. And before you do that, we have to do some work in that area, right? You have to understand your past and release it. We all have that inner little girl, that grown little girl inside of us, that's still crying out for help and support, that's embarrassed, that's in tears, that wants love, that feels like, I still want the love that I never got when I was a kid, right? And we're still waiting for someone to give us permission like a little girl on what we need to do in life. Nobody's going to stand up and give you permission. And then what we do it like little girls is we see, are you doing it? Oh, if you do it, I'll do it. Are you doing it? Okay, I'll do it. I think it's safe. And we go through that whole process as if we're still children. And what we do is we keep spinning and we stay stuck in our comfort zone. So you have to get aligned with your core value. And the reason why it's so critical, because a man will continue to be a man. Whenever you meet him, he will continue to be a man. He will continue to do what he's designed to do. That's have sex and procreate, have baby mamas. That's what he was designed to do. That's why he can wake up in the morning and have a beautiful gift waiting to be used between his legs, because he's designed to have sex every day, every day. That's why a man can get an erection just for no reason, because his body functions are designed to do that. But and so he will, when he meets a woman, if he's in that condition, he is going to reach out for the first woman that's there. If he's a virtuous man, a relationship ready man, he will probably be more responsible than just having sex with every and anybody, right? But so you need to get to that point to understand that. But until he meets a virtuous woman who's aligned with her own core values, see, we want the men to change. No, you have to change and set the precedent and teach him how to treat you. He doesn't change. He doesn't change until you change. You can't sit there and try to make him change and talk him into changing. You have to change. And once you change, he will change. He will follow, believe me. And so until he meets a virtuous woman who's aligned with her core, who is clear on her purpose, right, and her morals, then he'll move forward. When you talk about the 90-day rules, it's interesting. I hear so many women who proclaim to be Christian. I'm not going to take you out of church or religious worship or Bible study or any of that today. But what I do want to say is if you're a Christian, you have to go beyond the 90-day rule. Because the Bible tells you to wait until you get married. Wait until your wedding night. So, I mean, if we really want to talk about Christian, that's what we talk about. But if we're just talking about dating, you need to have your everything aligned. You need to make sure this man is planning to marry you. Ultimately, if that's what you want, a husband, right? So when a man meets a woman who has virtues, who has values, who's not loose, who's not a loose woman who would just have sex with him immediately or just within 90 days, he might consider becoming a gentleman and shifting his behavior and giving up his player's card so he can try to be your man and your husband. But when you have sex too soon, first, second, third date, even within 90 days, the man is saying in his head that you must be having sex with everyone else in 90 days. He's not thinking that that's anything special anymore. If you have sex with him on the first night, we think that, hey, I'm really into this guy. I really like him. I'm attracted. Our chemistry is great. So I'm going to have sex. And what the guy is thinking is, oh my God, she's loose. She's a booty call. She gives it up easy. Oh, let me put her number at the top of the list. But he's not putting you at the top of the list for marriage. And let me tell you, ladies, it's extremely seldom that a booty call turns into a wife. Doesn't happen because a man either knows he wants you for a wife or as a booty call. He wants you as a wife or for the rest of his life. He wants you for his wife or just for one night. He knows what he wants you for. He knows that after talking to you a couple of times because he can assess that by talking to you. Most men are transparent with you, ladies, but we end up hearing what we want. When you meet a man will tell you, oh, I got a lot going on. I'm still in school. I got a lot of work hours. I got some family obligations. And he might not say he's married if he doesn't want you to know. Some men nowadays come out and let you know, I'm married, but I'm looking for, my wife is, she's just not a good woman. We fall for that because we think poor man. He tells you his wife is not a good woman. She is so mean to me and she withholds sex from me and she does this and she does that. And we fall for it, right? We fall for it. Poor you. How can I help you? And we get into fix-it mode because we're so wrapped up in the story that we're not using our common sense when he's telling you that his wife is not treating him well. Well, how are you treating her? When he's saying that he's looking for someone that he can talk to and share his time with and make love with and be with because his wife won't do this or that, your response should be, that's pretty nasty. I think you should go home and work it out with your wife. But we don't say that. We get flattered that he's picking me, right? In my book, I mentioned that we're jumping up and down trying to tell him to pick me. Even if he's making a choice between his wife and us, we want him to pick me. It's not our job to try to impress a man, ladies. It is his job to impress us. But we hear what we want to hear. He's telling us from the start. That he's not able to have a relationship. He's telling you from the start that he can't get involved with you. He's telling you from the start he got some issues. He's sleeping at his mama's house. He's telling you from the start he got child support. He's telling you from the start he got a wife. He got a lot of overtime. He's not sure if he's ready to get in a relationship right now, but he's looking for a friendship. He's telling you in the beginning, are you listening? He's telling you that I got some things to work on. I got some things to straighten out. You know what? You would be a good wife, but right now I got some things to work. I would love to be in a relationship with you, but I got some things I got to take care of first. You know, I'm trying to become an entrepreneur. I'm trying to get my business going. I'm trying to get my education going. I'm trying to buy my house. I'm trying to get a car. He's telling you that he's not relationship ready. But all you hear is his sad sob story. And like the masculine woman that you are, sir, I'm calling you women, sir, because you want to now come in and take over and nurture and help him fix it. And then you want him to be a better man. Well, he told you he wasn't a better man to begin with. He told you he had some things to work on from the beginning. And I'll always go back to saying, if you're supposed to be a Christian, you ain't supposed to be sleeping with somebody's husband. If you're supposed to be serving the Lord, you shouldn't be trying to fornicate, right? If you're a footstep follower of Jesus, tell me, how many women did Jesus have? Who was he sleeping around with? And I'm sure if he chose to sleep around with people, that sex would have been off the chain. Did he do that? I don't think so. So listen, ladies, close your ears and stop listening to his stories and watch his actions and see if they're aligned with his words. So if he's telling you, I'm not looking for a relationship, but he says, hey, would you like to go out on Friday night? If he's not looking for a relationship, why are you going out with him on Friday night? Why? Why do you go out with him on Friday night? If he's not looking for a relationship, what's the purpose? Dating leads to a relationship and ultimately marriage. Yes, yes. I'm glad that you're enjoying this. I got some comments in the box. So when he tells you his intentions, ladies, I told you it's the real deal when you come into my community. My classes get deeper. I can only go so deep because I know y'all going to post and share these videos. So I got to keep what I say somewhat private, you know, or somewhat for the public, if you will. But my classes are off the chain. My retreat goes beyond that, ladies, because men tell you his intentions up from the in the beginning of the relationship, but you don't want to hear it. All you see is he's nice and sexy and good looking. He got a job. He got a few bucks. He drives a nice car. He got potential. And if I can take that potential and magically turn it into something, I'll have a man. That's what we feel. I'll have a man. But he's telling you, he's just looking for friendship. He just wants a buddy. He just needs a hookup. He needs somebody to talk to, someone to share with, because his wife is not able to be his friend. She's so mean. She got a lot going on. She just had a baby, or she got problems, or she had a death in the family, and she's not giving me the attention I need as a man. She made me sleep on the couch, or she put me out, or she said this or that. You should be saying, why? Instead of poor baby, I'll be here for you. That's what we do as crazy women. Instead of saying, why did she do that? Because if she put him out, if she's not sleeping with him, if she put him on the couch, if she's not talking to him, if she's not opening up, if she's not sharing with him, what makes you think that you will? If she's his wife and in the house, and if he's not able to keep her happy and open, it takes a lot for a woman to turn her back, unless she's just totally a mean woman on a man. So I want to know, what is he doing to cause her to shut down, right? What is she doing to cause him to cause her to shut down or cheat, right? Now they want to say, oh, she's sleeping with someone else. Well, why? It takes a lot for a woman to cheat, unless that's just her personality. Right? So he tells you in the beginning, I'm just looking to date around, just have a little fun. I'm just looking for someone to hang out with. I'm not really ready for marriage yet. I maybe want to have a baby, but I'm not really ready for marriage. Right? I just want to hook up and hang out, have a friend. I just need a good friend to talk to. And we say, Superwoman to the rescue. We're here for you. I am your ride or die side chick, right? But again, he's usually pretty honest. He's telling you up front. We don't live, we hear it, but we think that that's not what he really means. So right away, we have control. Right away, we're trying to interpret his words that he's already made clear to us. I am trying to become a better man. I am in school. I am trying to get my life together. I need to get my career together. I'm trying to get my family together. I'm trying to get my business going. I'm working a lot of overtime. I'm trying to compete in the next muscle man competition. Whatever he's telling you, you're ignoring. You're just ignoring because you just want the man. You just see the potential in the man. And you feel if you just hang on to hope, you'll have the man. That's what we think. There are many red flags there, always. We ignore the red flags. We ignore the flags. We really ignore the red flags. Even though he's telling us that, you know, he don't have a lot of time to hang out with us, or he's trying to build a relationship by texting us. He's texting, good morning, how you doing, sweet cakes, and all of this. Loved you, last night was great, I can't wait to see you again, even though it might be in 3 weeks from now, blah, 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 right? But he doesn't take you out on a date. And when he does want to see you, he usually wants to come over to your house. He wants to date you inside your house, where you're comfortable, where he's able to relax in your house because you're comfortable, right? He will bring you a bottle of wine or champagne. He might even bring some food over, but you're in your space and you're comfortable. You can't go to his place most of the time. You can, right? And he's sure not spend. What happened to spending the money on a hotel? He won't even take you, honor you by taking you to a nice hotel. You don't even get that anymore. It's your place. And because he's not willing to pay for dates. He's willing to invest very little to get a lot from you. And he's definitely not going to be seen out in public. But you ignore all of those red signs. You do. You ignore his words about not wanting a commitment. And you feel that even though he says, he told you, I'm not ready. I can't be in a relationship right now. I'm not looking to get married. I got to pull myself together. But because he calls you up and say, hey, Becky, how you doing? You want to go out on Friday? And you're like, oh my God, sure. What time? Where are we going? All right, I'll be ready. And you're so excited because you forgot that he said, I'm not interested in a relationship. I don't want to get married. I have a wife at home. I'm not interested in building a future with you. You're a good woman, but you've got all of that because he said, hey, I got a couple of tickets, or hey, how about, I'm going to bring some lobster over to your house and can we just throw them on the grill on the stove and cook together? I think that's so romantic. I saw that in a movie once and I always wanted to do that just with you. And you're saying, oh my God, awesome, great. Come on over. And you forgot about what he said, right? He didn't want a commitment, ladies. So just because he shares an ice cream, a steak, a movie, and just because he shares your bed, just because he comes over and brings some wine, just because he picks up some flowers from the supermarket, just because he does any of those things does not mean that he changed what he first told you until he tells you that he changed what he first told you. Until he says, I changed my mind. You know what? He's a grown man. He can say, hey, you know what? When I first met you, I wasn't thinking about any relationship, but you really changed my world. You changed my mind. You opened my eyes. You helped me become a better man. You made me see that it's time for me to give up my player's card because I want to be with you. Unless he comes back and change it, what changed? Nothing changed. Other than his conscience is clear because he says, I'm not interested in dating. I'm not interested in a relationship. I'm not ready for commitment. I got all these things I'm working on. But because he says, hey, you want to hang out and hook up? You think that something's different. It's not. It is the same. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same as what he says until he man up and come and change his words to you. If he doesn't change his words to you, don't you go assuming that anything has changed, because that assuming is making an ass out of you. Stop assuming. Please stop assuming. Because when you assume, you're getting yourself in trouble. He hasn't changed his game. He hasn't changed his approach. He hasn't said anything different. He's now cleared his conscience, let you know he was honest and upfront. So now he's free to see 5 other women. So don't get mad when he's cheating or he's posting on Facebook or flirting with someone else online or he's going out on a date with someone. He has already told you that he's not interested in a relationship with you. Don't get mad when you look on Facebook and he's engaged, getting married in a couple of weeks. Don't get mad because he already told you he's not interested in a relationship with you. You weren't the woman that did it for him. But yet you keep thinking if you keep doing it to him, that you will change his mind. I don't think so, ladies. It doesn't work like that. And I know we wish that it does. But men do not fall in love the same way that women fall in love. They really don't. They really don't. What makes us fall in love, like I said, we can kiss and swap oxytocin and kick off oxytocin in our body, the cuddle gene, the cuddle chemical. That's the same chemical that our body secretes when we're nursing our babies. The bonding chemical within our bodies is called oxytocin. And every time you kiss someone, oxytocin fires off in your body, and so you can fall in love and fall in love and fall in love. And when you have sex with a man and you have an orgasm, dopamine kicks off in your body. And you're like, oh, I'm in love. And not only are you in love, you're addicted. So men don't fall in love by having sex. They're not a receptacle, ladies. We are. So we are receiving all of his bodily fluids in us, which is causing us to, fire off all of these chemicals inside of us, namely dopamine and oxytocin, and we're getting addicted and we're falling in love and we're like floating and la la, and then really whatever he does from there doesn't matter because we're too strung out to care. And then it's too hard to leave him, and oh my God, I don't want to leave him, and I just hurt so much, and I know I need to go, but I can't. Right? Don't put yourself in that situation. Stop trying to, because at that point, all you want to do is seduce him with your stuff, with your yummalicious stuff. You want to seduce him and keep him because you're feeling like you get all emotional and sexy and your chemicals are going off in your body. You think the same thing is happening for him. And you think, well, wow, that was great. And he's saying, wow, that was great. But he's not putting a ring on your finger. And you just keep giving him your yummy stuff. Those yummy cookies in that cookie jar, and you're waiting for him to buy the whole cookie jar and just take it home with him and treasure it. And he's not buying it. Who pays for samples? When you go to the store and they have samples on the tray and you eat them and you say, oh, wow, this was great. This is a pretty good dessert. Where did this cookie come from? I love this steak and this cheese. Oh, what kind of cheese and cracker is that? Do you walk up to the register and say, excuse me, cashier, can I pay for all of those samples I had in the store? Can I pay for them? They were so good. I want to pay for them. Nobody pays for samples. If someone is giving you something for free, you usually don't pay for it. So don't think that because you're giving yourself away for free that he's going to want to pay for it. So stop giving your yummy stuff for free. It takes more than 90 days to get to know someone. And if you're a Christian, it takes until marriage. Really does. Until he puts a ring on your finger. That's what it takes. until the wedding night. Believe it or not, when he knows that you have virtues, you have values, you have morals, he will move. I dated my husband in 11 months because he wasn't waiting 2 years to get with me. We were dating, and within 11 months, we dated, and I had a ring on my finger, and we were married in 11 months. Because he was not waiting. He took the time to get to know me, take me out, introduce me to his family, get to know my family, talk to my dad. He talked to my kids. He took them out individually to get to know them. He did all of that in 11 short months without sex. Without sex. He did that. And then he went and had a ring made for me. And he texted me to ask me to send him some samples of rings that I love, that I would love to have as a wedding ring. He let me know he was preparing for this. And he didn't want to miss the mark by going out and getting something I didn't like. He asked me, what do you like? What do you want on your finger? And I didn't have to give away my yummy goodness for free, right? As a matter of fact, we went and we got married in Hawaii, on the island of Oahu, right? All my stuff was paid for, plane ticket, everything. He took care of everything, right? Usually the bride pays. When the groom loves you, he will pay dearly too. And sometimes he will pay for it all just to be with you. Don't shortchange yourself, ladies. Don't devalue yourself. Appreciate your worth. Elevate your worth. Build your self-esteem. Partner with a coach that can help you get where you need to go so that you can attract a relationship-ready man who will commit and marry you in less than a year. It doesn't take 5 and 10 years. Stop pursuing men. You're not a hunter. You weren't designed for that. The Bible said he who finds a wife finds a good thing. It doesn't say she who finds a husband found a good thing. He's the hunter. And it doesn't mean that you can't initiate, but I can't even have that conversation with you because we're not even at that point for me to even show you how to start a conversation or to seek information, or what I call toss the ball over the fence and see if he throws it back. You're not even ready for that yet. So in the meantime, stop pursuing men because it's not sexy, it's not a turn on, it's not feminine, it's not chaste, it's not a woman. A woman doesn't hunt and pursue and force herself in a relationship with a man who won't cherish you anyway. If he cherished you, you wouldn't have to pursue him. If he cherished you, you wouldn't have to force the relationship. If he cherished you, he wouldn't be disappearing on you, breadcrumbing you. He wouldn't ghost you. He wouldn't be cheating. He wouldn't be lying. He wouldn't be doing all of those things if he cherished you. So stop, because it's not going to work. You're just burning yourself out by chasing something that's never going to be yours. You don't have to chase a man. You are a woman. A man chases you. You don't have to chase a man to get a man. You don't have to trap a man. You don't have to sex a man to get a man. You don't have to follow all these stupid little dating rules to get a man. I don't care what dating coach is out there, and I don't care who said it, and you can tell them I said it. You don't have to follow any dating rules to get a man. What you have to do is your inner work. You have to tap into your femininity. You have to align yourself with your own core values, and you have to determine what they are, and then position yourself to attract a man. That's what you need to do. And part of that is activating your femininity, as I mentioned, and getting aligned with your core values. That's a huge part of it, ladies. And when you do that, a relationship man will pursue you. You don't have to ask for a ring. I didn't have to ask my husband when we're getting married. When are we getting married? When are we getting married? When am I going to meet your parents? When am I going to meet your kids? When are you going to take me to your work? When are you going to come over and meet my parents? I don't have to ask those things, because when he's pursuing you, and believe me, man, if he's a man knows how to go after what he wants. And if he wanted you, he will go after you. And if he's not coming after you, if he's not pursuing you, if he's not chasing you, he doesn't want you. I've seen the shyest of men chase the boldest woman. My husband is pretty shy. I'm pretty bold. And he trapped. The joke was, when we started dating, is how is he going to tame that tiger? He didn't have to tame the tiger. He just had to pursue the tiger. And she submitted. She submitted to her king because he treated me like a queen, right? That's how relationships work. And not only did we have a beautiful wedding where he had a ring made, we went to Hawaii. When we came back a few months later, we went to Africa, Paris, and London for a month. It was over a month. So when a man loves you, that's what he'll do for you. So make the decision. I will constantly tell you, you have to decide and choose whether you want to be pursued, loved, and cherished, or if you want to be respected. Do you want to be the man in a relationship, the masculine energy in a relationship, or do you want to be the feminine energy in a relationship? You decide. Feminine energy pursues, and went through a list of what feminine and masculine energy was yesterday. If you didn't participate or didn't watch the video, go back and watch it. Masculine energy goes after. He's a hunter by trade. He's a hunter by creation. He's a hunter. He knows how to hunt for food for his family. He knows how to hunt for a wife. He knows how to hunt for the things that he needs. And no man will marry a woman that's not aligned with her core values. So if you're not in alignment with your core values, get in alignment. Figure out how to get in alignment. And what that simply means is that you need to get the help that you need. You need to identify what's your issue, what's your problem, and you need to start working on it. And before you can even really get deep and do your work, you need to stop settling for mediocrity. Stop settling for these short-lived flings. Stop settling for giving him all of your stuff for free. Don't settle to be the side chick. And don't settle for, I call it a new form of prostitution, because he's paying for dinner, he deserves to have sex. No, he doesn't. Dinner does not equal what's all in here. It never has, it never will. It doesn't. You have to rejuvenate the woman within. And sometimes you have to walk away. You have to really get down into a cocoon so that you can, transform into a beautiful butterfly. We might be dealing with stuff that's just as ugly as a caterpillar. But when we allow ourselves to step back and we allow ourselves to get rejuvenated from within and go through that metamorphosis and transformation is not pain-free. Transformation is painful. And that's why most people have a breakdown prior to their breakthrough, because it's painful. And all of the pain, all of the relationships, all of the stuff that you're going through is designed to teach you something. Are you paying attention to the lessons? Each relationship that you're encountering is designed to teach you more about yourself. And when it teaches you about yourself, you need to pay attention to the lesson, not just cry about the man. Pay attention to the lesson so you can go to the next level and go find you a man that truly values and cherishes you. But that won't happen until you take time to rejuvenate the woman within. And the beginning of that is to step away from the minutia, step away from the crap, stop settling for mediocrity, and get into a community, a supportive community where you can get the help from like-minded women who are going through the same things you're going through. And that's the women in my organization. They've gone through divorce. They've gone through being a single mother. They've gone through brokenheartedness. They've gone through men cheating on them, hurting them, lying to them, breadcrumbing them, disappearing, ghosting them. Right? They've gone through all of that. That's why I can bring this information to you, because I have gone through it. And I took one for the team, and I took my education, my MBA, my PhD training, so that I can go do research by talking to men, researching with women, and understanding what's going on in our current dating culture, so I can package up some information to give it to women, so I can stop you from having the pain that you're having, stop you from going through the things you're going through, so that you can just move on to having a healthy relationship. The dating situation, the dating environment has flipped. We're now chasing men. We're trying to get our body right, our sex right. We're twerking for them, and they're trying to see who twerks the best so that they can pick one. What? Why? Make them shake a little something for you. They're supposed to be doing the work and shaking their tail feather to impress you. Now we're trying to impress them to get them in. Y'all let them flip the game on y'all. You need to take your game back. And the way you do that is by getting into a supportive community. And there's power with groups. There are powers with numbers of people coming together, learning, working, exchanging information. And that's what I'm inviting you to do. So if you need help, some of you have already done it. I'm going to encourage you to raise your hand and get the help. You don't need to be ashamed of the help that you need. You need to raise your hand and get the help that you deserve, so that you can stop the mediocrity. You can stop just following the latest dating trends or rules to get a man, but you can really do your inner work and figure out what you need to do once and for all. And then guess what happens? If a dating rule or trend changes, you're not affected by it. If something else shifts, you're not affected by it. Right? You're not affected by those things because you are aligned with your core and you have activated your femininity. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. And that's what I encouraged you to do yesterday. And I'm going to remind you today that this is your invitation to join me and 20 other women. If you enjoyed what you heard today, you are in for a big treat at the Love Rejuvenation Retreat. It is an amazing retreat where not just me, but my colleagues and my friends and my sister and them, they come in to teach you more of what I'm teaching you. And they pierce deep into the heart. It's like heart surgery. We go in and we get out. We do what we have to do so that you can make the shifts. So if you think these 5 days have been powerful, you can't imagine with being in a private setting with me and my colleagues teaching you how your life would shift, how it would completely shift. So I'm going to invite you once again to the retreat. And for those who are participating in this challenge, as I mentioned before, only for those who are participating in this challenge, so you have until Sunday to sign up, and you have until Sunday to sign up for the retreat. You get a buy one, get one free. And this is an all-inclusive luxury. So your hotel, your food, your amenities, your spa, your activities, everything is included in the price that you pay. And you can buy one and you can get one for half price. You can bring one of your sister friends. We're going to be doing a lot of things such as zip lining, tree climbing. This is a little picture of the hotel there. It has a rooftop infinity pool. It's gorgeous. They have a club on top of the roof. They have beautiful restaurants there. The spa is across the street. Beautiful beach. We're right on the beach. This is a picture from the hotel right on the beach. So it's amazing to get up in the morning and even the speakers from last year are excited to come back because they just want to be on the beach again. They get to come and be on the beach and teach and do what they love. Right? They get to have a great time while they're waiting for their turn to speak. So it's a beautiful place. It's at the Virginia Beach Oceanfront Hotel. The cost of the retreat is $1,997. And so if you're bringing someone for half price, they just pay that extra $1,000 and you all split the hotel costs. Makes it very simple. And so I hope that you will consider this. I thank you all for attending. I hope this has been super powerful for you. I see my chat room blowing up. So I'm going to look at some of the questions and then I will open up to take your questions if we have any additional ones. So if you do, you might want to just at least post in the chat room that you have a question, or I will give you an opportunity to come off of mute so I can entertain your questions. Thank you so much. So Miss Tina is saying I need to make my way to the retreat. Assuming, yeah, Yep. So Tina, I hope I do see you at the retreat. You can always reach out to someone if you need to share a hotel room or bring a friend. Yes, it is good stuff. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Um, yep, yep. So thanks a lot, Tina. I appreciate all of your comments. So I see a couple of more comments, but thanks a lot. Does anyone have any questions? If you have any questions, just go ahead and post in the chat room that you have a question or raise your hand. I think someone had their hand raised earlier. I don't know if I can go back to it. So let me see if the person is still on the line. I don't know. Dolores, was that you with your hand raised earlier? If it was, you're not on mute. You can go ahead and ask your question. Okay. I'm not sure if she can hear me or not. Okay. Does anyone else have a question? I'm here to take your questions. Give me a hard question. Someone give me a hard question about the challenge or about your relationship. What's your current relationship situation? Okay. So okay, someone is sending me a question privately, so I won't say their name. I'll just call her KJ. So she's saying, what is the best way to tell a man that you're not interested in dating? You all can talk. You won't be recorded. I'm only having my video shown. So just be aware that you won't be recorded. It's just me. That's why I have the screens the way that they are. So your voice will be there. You can just give me your initials if you just decide to come online. And just ask your question. But no one will see you or see your phone or anything like that. So KJ is saying, what is the best way to tell a man that you're not interested in dating? Can you come online, KJ? I'm not sure if you can talk, but I want to find out if you're not interested in dating because you don't like him or because you just don't want to be in a committed relationship and you want to date around until you find the love for your life, of your life. Can you clarify that a little bit? I'm gonna unmute you so you can clarify for me. Can you hear me? Oh, you're at work, so you can't talk. Okay, so try to clarify just a little bit. Is it because you don't want to date or you don't like the man? At least tell me that because I can understand how to direct the question. I'm just waiting for KJ to kind of put her comment in the box so I can answer her question. So give me a little bit more information. I'm going to move on. Tammy has a question and then I'm not attracted to him and I want to say no in a polite way. Okay, so here's the deal, Christian. I'm going to just give you some advice I give to all the women that I work with. If you're not attracted to a man, you don't have to go out with him. But I do encourage you, sometimes we just look at a man and he's not our shape, our style, or what we're looking for, and we reject him. I talked about that a little bit yesterday. But I'm going to encourage you to at least go out on 3 dates with him if he might have some of the qualities that we're interested in. Now, if he's overweight and he's not caring for himself and it's just very obvious that he's just not the man for you, then, let him know, I'm just not interested in dating. Men do it to us all the time. If you ask a man to go out with you and he's not interested, he doesn't have a problem with letting you know that you know, I can't right now. I don't want to right now. I'm not interested right now. You're a cool person and a cool friend, but I'm not interested in a romantic relationship with you. So you can say that. Now, if it's a guy you're just looking at and saying, oh, he's just not my style, he's just not my culture, just not familiar with the type of guy that he is, right? I mean, if he's just a bad boy and up to nothing but trouble, and you're afraid that it's going to cause you some damage in your life, all right, that's a no-brainer. But if it's a guy you're just not your usual type, so you're just really not sure, I encourage you to go out with him 3 times to get to know him. Because sometimes men can come off as shy, men can stumble. Even when I dated my husband, in the beginning we talked on the phone, he stuttered a lot. He stuttered a lot. And I if I wasn't smart enough to recognize that he was just nervous, I could have passed over a great guy. And so I almost didn't go out with him because he stuttered so much, and he, you know, everything he said, he was like either talking real fast or real slow or stumbling over his words. But after we talked a couple of times and we went out on a couple of dates, about 3, I start to see him relax, and I start to see who he really is. And then I did become more attracted to him once I allowed his representative to go home. Right, because his representative was showing up as shy. And so once his representative went home, I was able to see this strong, powerful, smart man who was super intelligent that could carry on a conversation for days. But initially, he was just so shy. So because you can't talk, I'm gonna encourage you, there should be a link. I keep saying I'm gonna add the link for you all to have your free session with me, but I will make a note and someone hold me accountable in the group to say, post the link to the group to set up our complimentary session, and I'll be happy to do that in the Love Rejuvenation or my Get Mr. Right group. Please do that. But I will be more than happy to hear a little bit more about your situation. But yes, if you're not interested, just let him know. No harm, no foul. You don't. The worst thing to do is to string him on and you're not interested. But I always challenge you to write, to journal. Why don't you journal, KJ, tonight to see, or whenever you have time, to see why you're not interested in this guy. Is it just his outward appearance? And like I said, if he's stinky, smelly, a bum from the street, and, you know, just complete turn off, okay. If it's because he's a different culture, or maybe his hair is brown and you like blonde hair, I don't know if it's just aesthetics and he's just a nice looking man, but you're just not interested in that type of guy. But I want you to, if he's a decent guy, he looks decent, he might be a great guy, give him a chance. Going out on dates builds up your confidence and self-esteem. So especially if you haven't been on a date for a while, I encourage you to go out on 3 dates, enjoy him, his company, and his dinner, and just get to know him. And if after 3 dates you're still feeling like, still not working for me, not the guy, what that will do is really solidify the kind of guy you like and don't like, and then you'll know whether or not you really, really like him or not, or whether or not he was just shy, or his representative was there, or whatever was going on. So I hope that helped. Let me know if that helped, and if I kind of hit it on the head. If not, like I said, you can always add more in the chat. Miss Tammy, I'm single, preparing for my Boaz from God. Yes, ma'am. Most of the women in my community are. And I'm happy to hear that. But Ruth did a lot of work before she got Boaz. Ruth did not just get Boaz because she was sitting back. And guess what? When Ruth didn't know what to do, Ruth had a mentor, her mother-in-law, Naomi. Okay. And Naomi was able to tell her exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, because Naomi knew what to do according to the customs, according to what you're really talking about brother-in-law marriage there, and family-in-law marriage at Boaz and Ruth, right? And so that's really what it is. Ruth had to really encourage Boaz to marry her, right? So we use that example a lot. But when you look into the scriptures, there was a lot more to that story. And she had a mentor. She had Naomi, her mother-in-law, her ex-mother-in-law, was because her husband had died. And she was able to guide her and tell her what to do, even when to go sit at the feet of Boaz, when to go take the water in, when to bring it out. So she had a mentor that told her what to do and when to do and how to do it. And that's what I'm inviting you, Tammy, and everyone else to do their work to do that. I have several programs right now. I'm really inviting you to the retreat. My programs are not necessarily open for enrollment. When I do get 10 or more women that contact me and say, hey, Camille, when you start your class, sometimes I will open a new class. But right now, my next class won't open until about November, after the retreat, November, December timeframe. So right now, I am inviting women to the retreat because I have 2 classes going right now. I have a year-long class, which it's, I think, too late to put you in there. And I have a 20-month class, which is also maybe too late to put women into and have you catch up. I don't want you to catch up and rush and feel that pressure. I want you to come in fully ready to be in your femininity without rushing to catch up. And so at this point, it's too late. So I'm just going to really encourage you. Sometimes I will offer programs with the retreat. I think with the retreat, you get 2 to 3 coaching sessions one-on-one with me. Those can be in person at the retreat if you're coming on site early, or if you're staying a day late. Some people are opting for a VIP day with me. So I do one-on-one VIP days. If you are coming to the retreat and you want something extra, I can do a VIP day with you in person. We do all sorts of things in that VIP day. We can just teach and learn. We can do a makeover, hair, makeup, photo shoot. There's lots of things we can do. But throughout the retreat, you're going to get a lot of assistance because, like I mentioned, that first day we really focus on peeling back our mask and breaking through our fear. That's really the focus on that first days, peeling back your mask, breaking through the fear, conquering your fear, punching fear in the face. And then that's Thursday. And then Friday, we really focus on building up our confidence and our self-esteem and aligning ourselves with our core values. Right. And we do that by going to the spa. We have a makeover. We have a photo shoot. We have a boudoir session. Then we have a networking party. We have lots of things planned and in place to help you, go through each phase that you need to go through. And also I have other coaches that are going to be on site, and you will have access to them as well. Last year was super powerful. And then Saturday, we really tap more into, rejuvenating the woman. We meditate. I have someone come in that really is going to teach you how to meditate appropriately, how to really call in your man, how to really let go of some of that stuff inside. We have, the beach is going to be there. It's just phenomenal. I'm not even talking about the beach or the hotel or the ambiance. That's just like over the top gorgeous. I showed the room yesterday. It's just all a window room, just looking at the beach all day while we're learning. And we have someone that teaches us sensual dancing on Saturday. So I'm still trying to decide belly dancing or vixen floor chair dancing. So we will see what type of dancing we will do. Someone else is saying that I've dated a man for 9 months and we ended up in a friend zone because he was still interested in his ex. No, he did not get the cookie. Good for you. It hurt, but not as much. Yep, you're absolutely right. If you do have sex with a man, it hurts you more when you find out he wants to move on. See, that's the principle behind the 90-day rule. Don't be so quick to give up your sex to a man, and then he decides to move on, and then now you're really broken. You're already going to fall in love because you're kissing, right? And you're hearing him talk in his deep voice to you every day, saying sexy, beautiful things to you, right? So it's going to hurt, right? But when you don't give up your sex, it doesn't hurt as much. So good for you. And it could have ended up in a friend zone for a number of reasons. And Tammy, like I said, I'm hoping that you do decide to come to the retreat, because we will be working specifically on what are those things. We will be doing role play. I forgot to mention that. So I'll be trying to understand, what are you saying? What are you doing? And we also help you prepare for your online dating profile. Do a lot of that in my class, so that might be before, after the retreat, that I might reach out to give you personal assistance on that. But if we have time during the retreat, I will help you create your online dating profile for those who are interested in that, knowing how to word it, what type of pictures to use. So we're going to have a photographer on hand if you want to have the photo shoot for your online dating profile. So that's one thing we're thinking about adding to this retreat, so that you can just get those pictures done right there. And then you can go home, or in the workshop, if we have time, you can post them up, and then you can have your online dating profile. By the time you get home from the retreat, you can get some answers. I also act like a modern day or feminine Hitch. So I often respond to messages for the women in my group on their online dating profile. Don't tell your man. So I tell them how to respond. So they, when they're new at this online dating, I tell them how to respond, what words to use, how to get them in. And I tell them what words, but I like to let the women type their own words once I help them, because then it starts to shape and they get training on what to say when you're meeting someone, and how to have the conversations on the dating site, and then how to flip that to the phone, and then how to flip that to a in-person live date. So that's what I teach women to do. So again, if you're interested, come out to the retreat. We'll be doing some training on that. Yeah, awesome. What do you do to move past the friend zone? Thanks a lot, Tina. She's saying that this is great information. I appreciate that. I try to bring you good information. Like I said, I don't bring you fluff and stuff. I try to bring you the real deal with Camille, so that you're not wasting your time. You're spending valuable time being here with me, and I don't want you to waste your time with the wrong type of men either. I want you to really attract the right type of men who are interested in you, and you're interested in them, so that you can really build a future with someone. Okay, and I'll tell you, every relationship will definitely fail until you find your Mr. Right, attract your Mr. Right. So don't ever get hurt by, oh, I dated a guy for 3 months last month or last year and it didn't work. That's okay. We tend to think it's not okay. We think failure is not okay. What did you learn from that relationship? What did you learn? If you came away learning that, I talk too much, I complain too much, I nag too much, I criticized him too much. What did you learn from that relationship? And then how do you take what you learn and apply it with some inner work for your next relationship? That's a lot of the work I also help women do. Okay, awesome. Moving past the friend zone depends on why you're in the friend zone. It's not just a cookie cutter process. So it depends on why you're in the friend zone. Most men, when they meet you, they're going to automatically put you in the friend zone. They're going to automatically put you in the friend zone, because we as women, we look at a guy and we say, oh, that's my future husband. I can't wait to marry him. He's handsome, he's sexy, nice car, nice home. Okay, I want to marry him. Men don't think like that. So when you meet a man, you're really in a friend zone. It just depends on what goes on in the relationship. How do you move that relationship out of the friend zone? I have to tell you, the relationship will never come out of the friend zone unless he wants the relationship to come out of the friend zone. That's the only way the relationship will come out of the friend zone, is if he wants the relationship to come out of the friend zone, it will come out of the friend zone. If that's not what he wants, it will stay in the friend zone. Okay, awesome. Still masculine coming out. Yep. So some of you are saying you got a lot of masculine energy. I hope that you're planning to come to the retreat. It's going to be a beautiful event. I'm not just trying to sell you a ticket to the retreat. I don't need to do that. My retreats usually fill up. But what I really am trying to do is help the women that want help this is going to shift your life. This is going to shortcut you, help you to find or attract your Mr. Right in the shortest time possible with the support that you need. So that's why I'm doing the retreat. That's why I offer programs. That's why I'm building my communities, because I truly want to help women attract the love that they deserve. So like with anything else, the retreat costs money. I don't make anything from the retreat. Everything in the retreat goes to the vendors that are participating in the retreat. You know, you're having a mini spa day. You're having massage, facial, manicure, pedicure. Who gives you that when you go to a retreat? Well, you're having that at this retreat, and it's all paid for. You don't have to get there and say, I have to think that you have to pull out your credit card. You don't. It's included. You don't have to get there and have to pay for your breakfast and order room service. It's already taken care of. Your breakfast and lunch is already taken care of. Your activities are already taken care of. Your hotel room is already taken care of. And so that's what the funds are used for. And so really, I don't make anything out of the retreat. I put everything that you pay to put into the retreat. You know, if I was charging 10, 20,000 for the retreat, oh, now we're talking. But the retreat is $19.99. Tell me, how much did your last vacation cost, right? And so, and plus you're getting learning, you're getting teachers, you're getting mentors coming on site. I'm bringing them in from around the world, in my community and outside my community. I'm bringing the best coaches on site to really help you. I have a mindset coach coming in to help you shift your mindset. I have a holistic doctor coming in to help you really understand about your health and your body. I have someone that comes in about fitness and health also. They come in and give a talk every year. A phenomenal woman, Camille, if any of you have ever heard of. I'm sorry, some of the other names. Denise Joy Hart is coming in. Oh, shoot, kill me. I can't remember the doctor that's coming in right now off the top of my head. But I have some powerful, powerful women coming in to really pour into you and really help you for this retreat. So I hope to see you there. And I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope now that we've revisited the 90-day rule that you'll understand a little bit more how to apply the principles and not just follow the rules in attracting the love that you deserve. And if you need some additional help, just reach out to me in the Facebook group. Make sure you do your worksheet today, ladies, and make sure you post your aha moments. Make sure you share this video, share the challenge link with your girlfriend so that they could join. Share the retreat on your page. For those of you that are saying you want to come, what's holding you back? A lot of times it's the expense of the hotel that ends up holding us back. Find someone, a sister friend that you can share your hotel room with, and that will take care of that. Like I said, we have payment plans, so you don't have to pay it all out of your pocket. You can put your deposit down and pay monthly or pay weekly or however you want to pay. If you need a special payment plan, just reach out to me. If you have a credit card, put it on your credit card and earn your points, earn your miles, or whatever you need to earn. Go through PayPal. They have 6 months interest free. But whatever you need to do, I'm going to really encourage you not to miss the retreat, because it is a powerful, powerful retreat, unlike any other retreat I've been to. That's for women and empowerment. So I'm excited to have you. I'm excited about the retreat. Ladies, there's only a space for 20. We already have 6 women that are signed up. I'm promoting a little bit earlier. Last year, I waited until like August or September, and we still had quite a few women there. So I'm trying to get better and promote a little bit earlier. And we already have 6 women. I'm pretty sure we'll be filled up. I'm still trying to decide if I'm actually going to go all the way to 20, because last year we had about 10 or 12 women there. And I really liked that. And the women said, please don't invite any more people. Just invite us every year. So can't do that, but we will try to keep it small again. So thank you for joining me today. If there's no more questions, I'm going to sign off now, and I'll check you out in the Facebook group. I might pop on and do a little live recap of today. And I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. If you don't have a date, go out and date yourself. Take yourself out, get dressed up just like you would do for a man, except do it for yourself and have a good time. And I wish you love. Bye.